This is being done uncut, unscripted, and on the fly. You know, when you look at these three characters from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, that being Spike, Discord, and Big Mac, you might wonder what they have in common. Well, besides being featured as best friends, amigos, compadres, caballeros, you might be surprised if you already know the love for O&O, which is the MLP equivalent of Dungeons and Dragons. But there is another thing they have in common, which a lot of fans have probably kind of is controversial and shouldn't be in a show about friendship. And what is that, you might ask? Why, it's these three ladies right here. Rarity, Fluttershy, and Belle. These are the three that Spike, Big Mac, and Discord have in common with each other. Yes, this is the other thing they have in common with each other. And what that commonness is love, romance. And out of the three, only one went all the way. That, of course, is Big Mac and Belle. Big Mac and Belle started back around season 7. I think around the second half of season 7, after the episode Dungeons and Discords. And just accumulated and built from there. And it all culminated with the wedding episode in the final season called the Big Mac Question. But I want you to think about this. I want you guys all to really think about this for a moment. None of that, in my opinion, with Big Mac and Belle, and even Fluttershy and Discord, none of this would have happened if it wasn't for the first episode itself. You see, in the first episode, Spike fell head over heels, head over scales for Rarity the moment he saw her. And yes, we've been through it even to this day. Excuse me there. But like I said, we've been through this even to this day, that a lot of people are kind of mixed about the whole Spike and Rarity deal. Some feel that Rarity doesn't really have the same affection and feeling for Spike that he has for her, and vice versa. And people pretty much will argue that there is something there between them, and that there's too much evidence to say otherwise. As a matter of fact, spoilers here to really back up the point that some are saying that there is more there besides friendship between Spike and Rarity. The very first episode, and what I call a mid-pelage, which is kind of like in the middle epilogue, called Friendship is Forever. It's a 6-part clip show miniseries where the main focus is Starlight and Spike gathering the memories they need of the main six and of the main six's time with Twilight, as they prepare for graduation. It's in the first episode called Addressing Memories that the first character to be focused on and sharing memories about the good times and some of the lessons they learned about friendship is Rarity. And in this episode, Rarity, like we're going to see later on with the likes of Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy and Applejack, and I'm sure Spike and Starlight themselves, Rarity shares memories, like I said, shares some of the good memories she had with Twilight and even with Spike. And thanks to a spell that Starlight created, these memories are incorporated in sort of a video yearbook-like thing, or video scrapbook-like, deal, to where once the memory is talked about and made, it becomes, featured. It becomes a page or part of a chapter or a page in the book. I know I sound like I rambled there, so I do apologize. But getting to the point here, basically, in this episode, when Rarity and Twilight are talking about some of the good times they had, as Twilight is taking part in another dress fitting by Rarity for her coronation dress, they bring up Spike. They bring up the friendship Rarity has with Spike, and Rarity basically talks about that although her relationship with Spike has changed, it still remains very special. And because of this, we see a reaction by Spike when he hears this, and because of that, he sees those memories from, Best Gift Ever and, other episodes. We see these memories filtering into the book. Spike's reaction is what you would expect from him when it comes to Rarity. A little bit of a blush, hearts appearing over his head. So, yeah. Friendship is Forever still kind of showcased that Sparity, whether some people like it or not, is still a thing and might have become something more in the eyes of several fans. I mean, I will say this: when I saw the clip, when I saw the clip of this on the internet, I kind of laughed at Starlight's little reaction when she saw the memories of Rarity and Spike appearing in the book, and Spike's reaction. She had the Starlight's reaction. This is why I love Starlight. Not to get off topic, but this is why I love Starlight. And she could just give some good reactions right when it's needed. And the reaction she gives is when she sees Spike's reaction to Rarity talking so highly of him, and in a way that would interpret maybe there's something more than friendship between the two. Her reaction is she gets a sly smile on her face, and she raises the eyebrow, one of her eyebrows, I see what it's like. I see what it is. And Spike's reaction when he notices that by Starlight, he shuts the book real quickly on his finger, whoops, you're not supposed to see that. But like I said, he shuts it so fast that he basically smashes his finger, and Starlight has to, prevent him from screaming, or else it would give him and Starlight away to Twilight and give away what they're trying to do for her. So, yeah. Basically, if you needed any evidence, like I said, about, Sparity, Spike and Rarity's relationship, whatever you want to call it, still being a thing, Friendship is Forever, I think, kind of gave you an answer. And I understand people, fans like, let's say, Golden Fox and Voice of Reason and several others may not be thrilled with that, and that's fine. That's their opinion. But the truth of the matter is this. If someone like Josh Haber is going to write it into the story in such a way to where, as somebody that views it, you're like, okay, maybe there is something there, between them besides friendship, then yeah, I think there is. I think pretty much there is. It's pretty much confirmed that there is something there, that's more than just a budding friendship, if you know what I mean, or a crush, a normal crush, if you will. And if Dragon Drop didn't kind of cement it, especially with its ending, in my honest opinion, I don't know what does. But, getting back on track, like I said, if it wasn't for Spike having this crush falling head over scales for Rarity in the very first episode, Big Mac and Sugar Belle, their relationship wouldn't have been, in my opinion. And neither would Fluttershy and Discord. Fluttershy and Discord has become one of the more popular ships in the fandom. As a matter of fact, when Fluttershy pops out of the portal in the final episode, The Last Problem, in the future timeline, if you will, basically people's reactions, whether it was the Brony analysis reactions, or the Brony reacts reactions, or the NYC bronies reactions, you know, as they were watching it live, happening in like almost a theater-like atmosphere, if it wasn't those kind of reactions that gave away the fact that, yeah, this is what fans have been wanting and been waiting for, I don't know what does. I don't know what would, if you know what I mean. Because honestly, that's exactly, but like I said, honestly, this, getting back, what I'm trying to say is getting back on point here, and because there's cars going by too, so I do apologize. But basically, getting on point, Fluttershy and Discord's pairing became so popular to the point that when fans saw that moment in Last Problem, depending on where you were, if you were in the NYC or even the Seattle audience watching it live, the roof could have blown off where they were. It really could have. It really could have felt like it could have blown off. I'm not lying about that. I'm not lying whatsoever. And I got to get back into work in a little bit, guys. But anyway, like I said, I am not lying. I am not lying about that whatsoever. And, like I said, just like with Big Mac and Sugar Belle, Fluttershy and Discord wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the Spike and Rarity relationship that started to lay its foundation down in the first episode and the first season. Now getting to Fluttershy and Discord, the thing is with these two, it was a unique friendship that possibly, the show was not hiding it. Let's be honest, the show did not hide it at times, that it was blossoming into something more than just a regular friendship between the two. And I think anybody that watched the show from beginning to end would acknowledge that. They would agree with that. It was becoming something more than just a regular friendship. Or it seemed to be hinting that it was heading in that direction. That's what was going on, in my opinion. That's what was going on, in my opinion. Like, it was hinting at it becoming something more than just a regular budding friendship. Now, again, you want any evidence, just look at Best Gift Ever. Just look at what is the episode? Discorded Harmony or whatever. You know, where Discord tries to be normal and almost destroys himself, kind of deal. And take a look at how he reacts. Like, when he helps the rest of the Spike and the rest of the main six escape along with, basically what I'm saying is, look at his reaction, what he says after he helps Spike and the rest of the main six escape to find Twilight. The last thing he says is, keep Fluttershy safe. Keep Fluttershy safe. And that to me is more evident. I think that's just enough evidence right there to indicate, yeah, there's something there between the two besides friendship. Again, I don't think the studio or the creative staff was hiding anything. I think they intended for us to see or get the idea that maybe Discord and her were becoming more than friends, but they never went that far until possibly the final episode when she came out of the portal. Now, Big Mac and Sugar Belle, when you get to them, Big Mac and Sugar Belle are looked at as probably, in just the short amount of time they had, are looked at as probably the most popular, most well-developed relationship in the show's history, and just within 3 seasons. Within 3 seasons, this happened. And you know what's funny is it was built off of the episode that told us about Big Mac and Applejack's parents. And because it was built off that, And people looking at the fact that Sugar Belle had besides being a unicorn, had an identical hairstyle and everything and personality to, Buttercup, aka Pear Butter, the mom. It just made a lot of sense. And the way it was done throughout the 3 seasons was perfect. It was just done so perfectly because you had a beginning, a middle, and an end. And you had, them coming together, you had the misunderstanding and temporary uniting, and thus you had the culmination with the wedding. Which, again, is how you do it's basically how you do romances, especially in a short-term process. So, Big Mac and Sugar Belle, I'm not going to deny it. I became a fan of them. And to me, when Sugar Belle came into the picture, it felt like she was meant to be there. Either as a secondary character, secondary main character, you name it. She was just, it felt right. It felt like she was meant to be there. And I don't think I'm the only one that agrees with that. So, again, when you look at the Spike and Rarity relationship, despite how you feel about it, if that did not happen in season 1, in the first episode, if that didn't lay down its foundation and get built upon throughout the show's run, have a little bit of cooling off period between seasons 3, 4, 5, and 6, and even 7 a bit, if that didn't lay down the foundation, I mean, first of all, between seasons 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, it did have its moments here and there. Take a look at Castle Sweet Castle from season 5 if you want any evidence. But like I said, even though it had more of a cooling off period between that time and you still had your moments, if it had not laid down its foundation and built upon it, even in the later seasons, 8, 9, the movie, Best Gift Ever, and even here in Friendship is Forever, if it didn't build upon the relationship between the two, the friendship, the very close, romantic-like friendship between the two, then there wouldn't be no Fluttershy. There wouldn't be no Big Mac. And honestly, Spike would have not had 2 compadres to pal around with when Twilight and the rest of the main 6 were not there. Or when the same with Big Mac, when Sugar Belle wouldn't be around. Or the same with, Discord, when Fluttershy wouldn't be around. They wouldn't have, gotten together and become amigos, if you will, in my opinion, if it wasn't for that relationship started. That little crush, romance, head over heels relationship between Spike and Rarity beginning in season 1, in my opinion. So, that's just my take on it though, guys. That's just my take. But let me know what you all think. Let me know down below. Comment if you like. I got to get back into work. PTO some of the minutes I missed. But let me know what you all think. And I will talk to y'all later. God bless. Take care.